So, for anyone who has ever had a migraine, you have my sympathy big time because I get them. I get a few of them every year. It's a deep thumping headache. I can't look at the light. I lie down in the dark until it goes away. I used to get them more when I was younger, playing rugby and drinking after games, things like that, but it was just awful. Nearly 750,000 Kiwis were estimated to have a migraine attack in 2021. The good news is there are great treatments out there. The bad news is many of those treatments are out of reach, according to new research from the Migraine Foundation. And who knew there even was one? Ella Jensen-Graham has had migraine disease since she was 9, and while her attacks are excruciatingly painful, she says the worst part isn't the pain, it's how the disease is stigmatised. And she joins me now to explain. G'day, nice to have you on the program.
Morning, nice to be here.
Yeah, so I'm with you on this. I don't get them as much as I used to, but when you tell people you've got them, they have no idea, and I just have to hide and go into the dark. It is this. There's a real stigma attached, isn't there?
Yeah, there is for sure. Mostly just because you can't tell. You look completely the same. It's just how you're feeling on the inside.
So what's the way through this? There are some good treatments around?
Yeah, there are treatments around. There's lots of different types of preventative treatments. They're not always effective for each person. Everyone has an individual response to treatment, but there are some pretty amazing new treatments available in New Zealand currently, which are having an amazing effect for people.
And how does that look? How does that work?
There are two types of injections, which are monthly injections. I've tried both of them. They're currently unfunded in New Zealand, but it's self-administered injection, and it is a preventative. So it probably I'd just describe it as it decreases the frequency and severity of migraine pain.
And how much does that cost? What's the cost of that?
I was paying, I think, for one of them around $600 to $700 a month, and then the other one I tried was $300 a month.
It's pricey, right? So it's going to be out of reach for a lot of people. We need to fund it. We need to somehow
definitely
get it taken seriously. Is it taken seriously, the migraine attacks?
Depends who you talk to. I've had, it's a hard one because everybody experiences headaches, I guess, at one time in their life, tension headaches or a hangover or, a coffee withdrawal headache, which I think because other people can experience headaches, that's the assumption that it's the same thing, but it really, really isn't.
What's the difference then? And what causes a migraine? What does the research tell us?
Everybody has different triggers, but it's a genetic disease, so there's not necessarily an individual thing that sets it off. The difference, I guess I would explain it, is it can start with a headache, but then it'll move to behind your eyes, and you'll have debilitating pain, which could last for a couple of hours if you're able to treat it with medication, or 3 to 3 days long. You can get nausea. Some people get visual effects, which is aura. So it's quite different to a headache.
I found myself, you talk about the pain behind the eyes, I find myself pushing my eyes in to try and release the pain, and so I sort of massage my bones around my head. This is because, in the past I've been desperate to get rid of the pain, so I've tried to find some solution. How does it impact your life, for instance, like time off work and things like that?
Yeah, it's pretty hard. I am on a good treatment plan now, which is great. But the last 4 years, it's hard in a social setting. I mean, I'm in my 20s and I'm constantly cancelling plans with friends. For a long time, I couldn't drink and go out. So it's hard in that sense, and hard to get other younger people to understand what it is, and you're not just being a bad friend. And then in terms of work, yeah, it's tricky. I'm in a good job where I'm able to work flexibly, and if I couldn't do that, I wouldn't be able to do my job.
Yeah. That's the thing about friends, and getting them to understand it, because they might think, you're just a hypochondriac, you're not bleeding, we can't see any problem with you here. You're always cancelling on us, It's about getting them to understand. Good friends will understand, but it's, you have to keep convincing them.
Yeah, for sure.
So in terms of what's next for migraines, is it true that we can't even refer to them as migraines? You have to talk about migraine attacks. Is that correct? So the language has changed around it?
Yeah, we're trying to have a language shift at the moment, because the idea that you have a migraine is a one-off event and it's only, when you're having it that's affecting you, but that's not true. We live with migraine. Most people with chronic migraine probably have some form of headache every single day, and if you're not having the pain, you might be having the post-stroke afterwards, which is feeling tired and groggy and not being able to concentrate. So it's the idea that we live with migraine, but we have migraine attacks or a migraine flare-up when it's really bad.
And did you say with your ones you can be out of action for 3 days?
Yeah. I've had 3 or 4 day long migraines at certain points, which is not easy.
No, it's not. It's sort of the toll on your life if it keeps coming, every now and then, every month or whatever. Just the toll just sort of keeps coming for you. What's the with the treatments that are coming on board? Are there also other treatments and other ways of addressing migraines rather than just like the needle?
Yeah.
You talk about this new needle, but what else is there out there?
There's a whole list of preventative medications which people can try, and it's really based on their doctor's understanding that there is a treatment plan for migraine. So I've worked my way through 8 different medications over the last 4 years,
Wow.
and everybody's so different around what they respond to. So the first one could have worked for someone, then it hasn't worked for me. So there's a lot of different preventative medications. I currently get Botox for migraine. So every 3 months I get Botox, which has helped massively.
How does that work? So hang on a second, I'm in the wrong game. How does the Botox work?
Yeah, so they're not fully sure how it works in terms of stopping migraine, but it was found out through getting usual Botox procedure that people were coming back and saying, oh, this has actually helped my headaches. And so it's been used for quite a long time as a migraine treatment. So I get 32 injections in my head and in the back of my neck and in my shoulders every 3 months, and that has just decreased the severity and frequency of them.
That's remarkable. That's costly though, isn't it?
Yes, that's also unfunded. So that's about $1,500 every 3 months.
Wow. Okay. So Botox, is Botox safe?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. Oh, so maybe I'll try that. I'd never heard of that. That's incredible. It's incredible. Hey, does your boss understand? Does people you work for? You say you work a bit from home, but do you find that they understood initially, or they had to be sort of coaxed into the understanding of it all?
I think I brought them along the journey. So I work in the civil service, and when I first started, I struggled with the work environment, with the lightings in the office and screens, and it did take me a while to build the confidence to be able to say this is actually what I need. But they've all listened, and it has taken a lot of self-advocacy to be able to get what I need. But I'm in a good space, and my boss is really great.
Yeah, it sounds like you're in a good space too. What would you say to others? Just finally, what would you say to people who are listening and watching this and suddenly, maybe feeling some hope? What would you say to them?
I would say, firstly, you're not alone. There's a huge community of us out there, and there's the Migraine Foundation have set up a community group on Facebook, which is just really good to feel support and talk to people and get ideas around treatments and what to do. And also, I think a thing that's really helped me is you've got to keep on with hope, because 4 years ago, these CGRP medications didn't exist in New Zealand, and now they do. So I think it's just the idea that new things will come about, and you've just got to be persistent.
Yeah. No, you're really mature about it too. So good on you, Ella. I appreciate your time. Been really helpful. Thank you so much.
Awesome. Thank you.
Okay, cheers.
Duncan, Garner.